Well, welcome to the Book Marketing Society webinar, Habits for Success in Book Marketing. And we're going to go over the things that successful authors do. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, Meredith. Meredith, introduce yourself.
I'm Meredith Eaton. I'm the CEO of Eaton Press. We are a self-publishing services company. We've been working with, we work with authors to publish nonfiction books. We do everything from helping with the writing process all the way up through the publication process. And we've been working in the publishing field for just about 10 years now. And so we're just getting into the marketing angle. By partnering up with Judy and starting the Book Marketing Society. So it's very exciting for us.
Right. And I'm Judy Baker. I'm the Badass Book Marketing Mentor. And I really focus on the conversation that you have with your audience. That's readers, reviewers, your friends, family. Marketing is as simple as the conversation we're having right now. So let's get started. And let me see if I can get my little thingies to work here. Okay. So many of you are familiar with the 7 habits of highly effective people. And when you start your marketing, if you think about what result you're looking to produce, you are going to have a better chance of getting there. And it's not just chance, it's a real intention. You will take actions in alignment with the results you're looking to produce. There we go. So, principles of success. You've got a plan, you need to take action, and you need to track what you do. If you don't measure, how do you know, did you get there? If you take some time to plan before you start anything, you'll have your map of where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. But if you never take action, it doesn't matter how well you have created a plan. It doesn't matter what you put down on paper. If you never get out of the house, you can't see the world. So those are the 3 guiding principles for success. And how do those influence how you use your calendar, your accountability, which is your commitment, and your communication? I will tell you right now, when you put things on your real calendar, whether it's a paper calendar, a digital calendar, that makes those actions real. And you're putting aside the time to get things done. It's also a commitment, not only to yourself, but to those people you are looking to connect with. And your communication is sharing your message because you know you've got something your audience wants. Now, if you're like me, and you probably are because you are creative and you are an author, you've got things running around constantly in your head. And the best thing you can do is put a timer on it and do a brain dump. Take some time and get all those ideas out of your head into a document. And again, it can be something that you write by hand, or Meredith uses, she uses a slide program and puts her ideas together and does a whole flow chart. I've used a mind mapping application called Scapple. There's lots of different ways to do it, but getting those ideas on paper will help you decide what you're going to do, organize them, prioritize them, and you'll also see some that need to go in the parking lot for later. Now, this is a picture of my 12-week action plan. This is my new 12-week action plan. I've already done a 12-week one. This is the new one. And what I learned from the first 12 weeks, I had way too many post-its on there because each of those post-its, each of these little guys is something, it's an action. And breaking things down into tiny parts will help get things done. And being sure you not only identify what you need to get done, but leave some space, some air, because we all know life shows up when we're not expecting it. And you've got to be able to maneuver around. Why do I have 12 months, 12 weeks, a month, a week, a day, and an hour up here? Depending on how you work, you have some long-term goals that you want to accomplish during the year. You have things you want to accomplish in a quarter, things you want to get done in a month, what's happening this week, and what's happening today. And then there are people who, refine it down to the hour. I usually put in my big goal for the week, and then I look at my daily goals. And so let's take a look. With an action plan, you're going to break down what happens with an action you want to take. You outline your project. Now, I said no more than 10 steps. I've got 12 because I know everybody cheats. And you put it on paper. The real kicker here. Can you explain what's on this action plan to somebody else? As if, and hopefully you will, be able to delegate some of this. If it doesn't make sense, if you left a step out, think about what you need when you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you say, oh, I need bread and peanut butter and jelly. Well, don't you need to get a knife or some device to get that peanut butter onto the bread? Don't you need to open the jelly jar and again, put the jelly on the bread? So if you make it abundantly clear, not simplified, but really clear what's each action that you're going to take, then you've got an action plan you can put into place. And I use this weekly goal sheet, and it was inspired by my productivity coach. I'm a good student.
Mhm.
So I thought what I want to get done today. And then you see there's only 3 slots in the top tier. Those are the hot things that if I accomplish those today, I'm a happy girl. And you want to pick out those 3 biggies and then what's not quite as important. And then if you have any notes, and you see this at the bottom, how will I celebrate my achievement? That is important. All of these pieces reinforce in our brain success. These small steps light up the dopamine. And when we make it clear to ourselves that we have accomplished things, we want to do more. So this is a retrain your brain tip. No, we're not going to the chocolate factory, but chunking is the term for what I mentioned before, where you take a big project and you break it down into smaller bites. You look for those similarities, you organize what you're going to do, and you group those things together so that you can take action. That's where the brain dump really comes in handy. And this technique is amazing. So, for instance, I have a goal of sending a nurturing sequence, and we're going to talk about that in depth in our society only webinar later this month, where I know I want to send out these emails, but how am I going to get there? I need to think about what am I going to say? I need to draft those emails. I need to polish them, and then I need to put them into my communication tool, which is a CRM, a I'm sorry, a customer relationship manager, and automate the process so that when someone fills out a form on my website, they will then get an email and then they'll get another one and another one. But I have to break it down. Oh, and the biggest important thing, I need to put it on my calendar or it's never going to happen. So chunking is a really good technique, and you probably used it when you were writing your book. Now, communication, my goodness, again, put it on your calendar. When are you going to write? Where are you going to write? Track what you post on a spreadsheet. And if you're not somebody who's computer savvy and you just want to keep a paper journal, do that. It doesn't matter as long as you are tracking. And if you make a calendar of what you want to communicate in the next 6 months, it makes it so much simpler because when you read an article or you hear a podcast and you have an idea, you can put that into order. And then when it comes time to write that newsletter or your post or an email, you've already got the pieces and now you're going to shape them and get them ready to go out. So you can create, you can curate, comment, connect. It's all communication. And when you post anything, you want to be sure you ask people to share it. As authors, we all have a brand. This is a picture of my author page on Amazon. And if you are published, you can have an author page. Now, perhaps you're still writing your book, but maybe you've been published in an anthology. These are these are all books that were published by the different California writers groups that I belong to. And I'm in poetry anthologies, prose anthologies. So I could claim those books through Amazon and create my author page. Now, your author page, oh my gosh, almost everybody goes and looks at your author page on Amazon if you're putting your books out there. And you want to include some goodies like your blog. You want to link to other social platforms. You want to link to your website. You can put pictures in there. You can put editorial reviews, but your brand is a global message of who you are, what you stand for, how you help people, and consistent colors, typography. People should be able to recognize the picture that's on your author page when they see your website or anywhere else that you are. So these are some of the key places to have your profile. Amazon, Goodreads, and on Goodreads, did you know you can put up your author page even before you've published? You want to be sure your social profiles mention you are an author, and YouTube, critical. People use YouTube as a search engine. And if you don't have some video up there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your cute little face up there if you're a little bit camera shy, you're missing out. So think about where are people looking for you? That's a stack of books that's on my desk right now. What do they have in common? They're talking about your brain, how you program it, how you make it happy, how, oh, my radical remission one came in there. That actually does influence your health and well-being. Connecting with people, made to stick, and atomic habits. All of these are about your brain, communicating with yourself, communicating with others, and how to create those habits that make it easier for you to get your work done. And all of them talk about making things small. Small goals will get it done. This is my take on what a habit is. It's a recipe. If you got up every morning and you had to run through the list of things you do and stop and go, oh, how do I brush my teeth? How do I comb my hair? How do I get out of bed? It would take you forever, but you have those habits solidly built in. And a way to find out how difficult it is to do things that are not habitual, try doing it with your non-dominant hand or foot, like brushing your teeth, which I've actually had to do because I broke my wrist last year and I was in a cast and I couldn't do anything. And right now I had surgery to repair what was done last year, and I'm having to accommodate things. And trust me, it takes way longer when you don't have a habit. You've got daily habits, and I want to introduce you to a technique called habit stacking. Habit stacking means you take something that you already are doing and introduce, oops, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Habit stacking is when you pair two habits together. So for instance, habit stacking for me means when I take a walk, I am also listening to a podcast or a book because I want to be sure I'm putting those two together. And I love walking, I love listening to podcasts, but if I do each of them separately, I'm spending way more time than I have available. But I put those two together and it's a winner. So I am going through books rapidly. I'm getting exercise and I love it. Now, with book marketing, think about whenever you are out and about doing things, maybe you can take a picture, post it on Instagram, and lead people back to your book by relating that image with your message. That's habit stacking. Easy to do. So start thinking about that. And the book Atomic Habits really talks about that in depth. Habit sandwich is another technique. You slip that new behavior into something you're already doing. I have a habit in the morning when I'm getting dressed, I dictate using an application called Otter AI, and it's spelled just like the animal. And so I'm recording while I'm doing my makeup. And because I started doing that, I was able to dictate over, oh God, what was it? It was, I think it was 96,000 words in 2019 during NaNoWriMo, spending no more than 15 minutes a day dictating. So a habit sandwich can help you take something you already do, slip something you want to do, connect them, and you've got a habit sandwich. This just showed up because I listened to Brene Brown. Now, I don't listen to every one of her podcasts, but I saw this post and I went, oh my gosh, think about it. Are you doing something right now that's getting in your way? I bet you are, because I know I have some things I've still got to move out the door. There's no room if I put in all the goodies that I want that are positive for those bad habits that take away from my health and happiness. But you have to interrupt the pattern. And that's why habits are so powerful for all of your book marketing. Blocking out time, making sure you have time when you are writing or thinking, preparing. When you do that and you turn off your notifications and you turn off your phone and you put a sign on your door saying, do not disturb, you will get far more done because multitasking sucks. You know what it really does? It diverts your brain and it takes 15 to 20 minutes to go from task A to task B. So, do you have that much time in your day? If you focus for 15 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes on your book marketing, it could be reaching out to other authors in your genre. It might be going through who's on LinkedIn. If you have a nonfiction book, who's on LinkedIn in the area of my expertise that I want to connect with? Those dedicated, uninterrupted chunks of time are golden. You'll get more done in less time if you don't try to do the juggling act where you've got all these competing things and the squirrel in you is shifting around. So give yourself some grace and time to just work uninterrupted. I mean, this really says it all. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. But you do have to act too. And if you know, Will Durant is a comedian, but he's a social commentary person as well. And this really resonates. My favorite person in the world who is a happiness expert is Gretchen Rubin. And she says, what I do every day matters more than what I do once in a while. What I do every day matters more than what I do once in a while. So make sure your marketing isn't that thing you do once in a while, but that it's top of mind. It's something that you're doing consistently and you have a habit. So, in summary, you want to plan, you want to act, you want to track what you're doing, look at the results, make those adjustments you need to make, and repeat the process. That is the recipe for success. Not perfect, but done. And that's why we started the Book Marketing Society. Because when you have support and accountability, that makes a huge difference in completing everything you need to do in book marketing. And both Meredith and I are of a mind that big splashy book launch, it's a day when your book is available. But if you spend all your time focusing on that one day, you're missing opportunities to continue to connect with your audience, to sell your book, to get those speaking engagements, to show up as the expert that you are. So we'd like to invite you to take a look at what we have put together for the Book Marketing Society. And you'll find all the details on our website. But we've got 3 different ways you can become a member: an emerging author at a monthly or an annual fee, an evolving author, or an eminent author. You pick the one that's right for you. And we have webinars like this. Courses are under development right now. We've got tips, tool sheets, workbooks, membership on Facebook, all sorts of goodies that will help you be accountable, not only to yourself, but to your readers and to the other authors in the group. So this is what's coming up. We are going to be doing a members only webinar on email automation, and I'll be going into more depth on nurturing, creating lead magnets, how you can invite people, and not by saying sign up for my newsletter. And then next month, our public webinar is the one sentence wow. That juicy, delicious sentence that gets people hooked and wanting to know more. So you can go to our landing page, which is shown below. It's at https://bit.ly/BMS March, MAR, and then April, APR. And that will give you all the details on how to sign up for those events. And if you've got questions, please contact Meredith or myself, and we'll be happy to answer them. I'm a little bit easier to reach if you text or call me. And Meredith is available at her email at Eaton Press and on Facebook and Instagram. So do we have any questions?
I'll ask a question that I know we get asked a lot.
Okay.
So maybe we could go into more, and I have a feeling based on the other workshops that we've done. So when you mentioned habit stacking, and you talked about you could go out and when you're out in the world, that take an opportunity to take some pictures of things and post them on, on your social media, on your Instagram, as a way of linking it back. And I bet you anything that particularly some of our members would ask to know more about that, have more ideas about that. So it's such a good concrete example of both marketing and the habit stacking. So do you want to talk more, like maybe specifically what to take a picture of? Does it have to be the book? Like that kind of stuff?
Oh, absolutely not. It doesn't have to be a picture of your book. One of my friends here in Sonoma is an author, and she's published 2 books. She's working on a 3rd novel right now. And on Instagram, what she did, she also goes walking like I do. And so she's posting pictures of things that she's seen on her walk. And it's letting people get to know her better. And they're beautiful pictures. Oh my God, this one she just posted had a wisteria vine covering the whole archway leading into her garden. And it just, oh my God, it just pulled me right in. So it can be something that is related to your book, but more importantly, it's something that is important to you and connects with your message. So you can see behind me, I know it's going, well, I think it's going the right way on your screen. Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what I came up with for my mantra for the year: being kind, compassionate, building community. And this reminds me that that's important to me. So I could take this, make an image of it using Canva, and post it, and then ask people, what are you doing to increase your kindness, your compassion? So you can pose questions. You can definitely you can show your book. So for instance, I could take one of here, I'll take this one. This is perfect. This book cover is a painting that was done by my friend Linda Loveland Reed. And Linda, she's multi-talented. Not only does she paint, she does poetry. She writes poetry. She writes fiction. She is an instructor at Sonoma State. She let's see, what else does she? Oh, she's a playwright. She directs plays. I'm probably leaving a few things out. Plus, she's a community person. But what she could do, and we're talking about this, she could take her pictures and post those on Instagram with a link back to her website or to a place that people could buy her paintings or her writing.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. And I just started researching this on how do you use Instagram as a selling platform. And there are some people who don't even have a website now. They're only using Instagram.
Mhm.
So
That's
I think that answered your question.
it does. I think also, sorry, um, that I think also the other thing that just occurred to me is the habit stacking where you put a good habit with a like a habit you want to get with a habit that you like to do. So one of the things might be to make a point every day or once a week to do marketing effort, whether it's putting something on Facebook or doing a little video or whatever, so
Yeah.
that you can then do the thing you like to do. So take a break,
Yeah.
get your coffee, go for a walk, that kind of thing.
Totally can do that. And something that another technology way that you can do that. I'm on the Apple platform, so all of my toys, my phone, my tablet, my computer. So I set reminders to do stuff. And I made it a priority this year that, well, I started the year by saying I was going to meditate more regularly, and I joined a challenge. So I decided, when in the day am I more likely to do it, and when would it be helpful for me with another thing that I do? Being more mindful with my eating during lunchtime rather than just racing through it and going, well, what the hell did I just taste? If I meditate right before I eat lunch, I'm in a much better frame of mind. And putting those two things together, because I know I have to eat,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have to meditate. So that's another way to habit stack that totally works. And that idea about grouping what you're doing. So say you pick every day of the week, you're going to focus on a different thing. So could be marketing month. Whoops. Sorry, I just opened up Siri, which I didn't want to do. You could have marketing Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday could be, say, I'm collecting tips that I want to share. Wednesday can be wild and crazy Wednesday. I am going to do something I have never done before. I'm going to pick 3 things that I want to challenge myself with. Thursday could be Thursday, looking at what I'm doing, how am I doing it, what are some ways I can improve my thoughtfulness. And Friday might be Freedom Friday. I could pick, oh, if I got these 3 things done, I can now go party. But you can put things together. If you record video, you might say, I'm going to pick a day where I'm going to do my videos, and I'm going to do a bunch of them all on the same day, change clothes in between. But you set up your studio, you've got your scripts written, you've got your lighting set up, and then you can you record all of them, and then you pick the time when you're going to edit them and post them, and then tell people about them. So
Mhm.
there's the steps. So that also is very helpful to do it that way.
Yes, and that reminds me of something we started doing in the Book Marketing Society Facebook group, which is an attempt to help people build these habits. So we have some planned posts that go out every week. And so Monday is what are you going to make happen this week for your book marketing specifically? What are your plans? And it's an opportunity for everyone to put it out there and then be accountable for it. Wednesday, we invite everyone to just give us their craziest idea for a book marketing ploy or activity or campaign or party, whatever it is. And then on Friday, we look back at the week and we say, what did you get done? The stuff that you planned to do, what did you get done? And let's celebrate the things that we accomplished together. And the idea being that we're hoping to help people establish these habits. Or every Monday, you see the post come up, and whether or not you comment in the group is not the point, but you get the prompt, and then you can start making that plan and move through it. And I think that is the thing. Once you get into that rhythm, it's going to get easier and easier.
Well, they've done studies on this. People who Harvard did the landmark study. People who set their intentions are higher earners. It's like 90%, 97. Let's see if my mouth can say this. You're 97% more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down and you tell people about them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as somebody I've been on Weight Watchers for 4 years. I'm still going to meetings. I got to goal. Why am I still going? Because the community reinforces the habits I built. And if I hit a bump in the road, I can ask for help. It's brilliant. And I'll tell you, with COVID, we didn't know what a gift this was going to be, that it was going to suddenly open up this whole virtual world in a
Mm-hmm.
way where we can come together. People from all over the country are in my meetings.
Mm-hmm.
They're just limited to your local group. So I'm learning from some amazing people.
Yep.
And I think that's the other reason to be in a group. It's that accountability factor and sharing not only the successes, but oh, I got stuck. And so somebody else may have a solution that would never come to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You have something to share with them that they need. We're all better together. I mean, you've heard this endlessly, but it's very much the case. When we come together, we're stronger, we have more resources, and we can also help promote each other's books to our community.
Yes.
And that is so critical.
Yes.
So
And that is something, again, that we're building into the different levels of the Book Marketing Society is opportunities for members to connect with each other, to be reviewers for each other's work, to get the word out to each other, even to practice the activity. So we talk about doing video as part of your book marketing. And for a lot of people, that seems very intimidating. It's very overwhelming, whether it's the technology or just the having to be on camera and what do I say? What do I do? And so one of the things we're offering is, we'll do practice runs in whether it's in the Facebook group or we'll set up, just a practice Zoom and members will come and support each other. So it's a very low stress threshold to start to move forward again, to start to establish the habit. And I will say that I was very not a big fan of doing video and I resisted it and I fought it. But once I got into a rhythm, which for me, the habit is if I have to do my hair and makeup because I'm going to be doing a thing like this, then I immediately stack. I have other videos lined up and I'm just going to do them because I don't do my hair and makeup every day, not by a long shot. I didn't even before quarantine because I always worked from home. So it's a big deal if I'm willing, if I feel like I'm ready to be seen. So I just, get a bunch done. I get as many as I can. And then I save them and I roll them out little by little. And it's such a relief to have that done, to know that I've got this content that's done, I don't have to think about it was too stressful for me to try to do video multiple times a week. It was just too much.
Oh, the
Yeah,
time is
the time and just there is a certain amount of I don't want to call it anxiety, but adrenaline that comes with doing any kind of video. And it was too much up and down, like different days. I just would get all the adrenaline out in one day and have those videos and then move on. So, and sometimes it's just a couple times a month. Maybe it's twice in a month, and I'll do 2 or 3 videos each time. And that's a good solid month's worth of content that I can put out on social media. But that has now become a habit. So it's weird. It feels strange if I just do one video and walk away and consider my day done. Even if I didn't think ahead enough, I'll come up with something to get it done because now that is the habit.
Yep. I am so with you on that. And when you mentioned, that little bit of anxiety, I've been doing this. I've been on stage since I was a kid.
Mhm.
I would make up plays. Get the kids around me. I majored in theater, but when it came, my minor was in film. I was like this. You're gonna do what? And I like the camera,
Mhm.
but recording me on video, holy mama. It did. I freaked out. I absolutely freaked out. And what's so beautiful now, I mean, that's back when we were doing it to reels. We were doing it
Mhm.
to reels. What is so nice about having this digital world, you can do endless takes. I'm not advising doing endless takes,
Right, yeah.
but you do it till you feel good
Mhm.
about it. But good enough is better than perfect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that
Yeah.
was a turning point for me. I would have where I just wanted to do a quick video. Like I run a challenge in June every year. And so I would do a video every week for that. And the first couple times I did 6, 7 takes of this video. It was like a minute long, if that. It was just and eventually I just got, I don't have time for this. It's just I can't be this obsessive about it. And I learned kind of, this lighting is good and this time of day is good. And I just do it and I don't look at it again. I'm just done. If the stakes are that low, it's just a thing going in the Facebook group. It's just a welcome to the channel, whatever. Do it, move on. Because done is better than perfect. Progress over perfection, the whole thing. And that made a huge, and that also is its own kind of habit where you're just like, I'm not obsessing. I'm not worrying about it. It is what it is. The content's what matters. And as long as I did make any mistakes in that, give any wrong information, it's done. And it's going out. We're moving on.
Well, I learned there's a tool that I think you've used it and I've used it, but Loom, so like Zoom, but LOOM is another
Mhm.
video application. And what I like about it, because I'm still at the lowest level, um, it restricts how long your video can be. And
Mhm.
if I want to do something quickly and I want it to look really good,
Mhm.
Loom is the answer. So someone could have asked me a question and I could spend, you know, an hour and a half writing it out, or I can do a Loom video, send it in an email and say, oh, you asked me this, here's what to do. So there's lots of tools, but it's that switch in the mindset
Mhm.
about I can do this.
Yes.
I can do this. This is okay. I'll get better. The more I do, just like writing, the more you do it, the better you get.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. And I mean, with right now, all of our smartphones have a higher resolution camera than most of us had when we were spending, you know, thousands on DSLRs.
Yes.
And my friend Derek Story, who is a professional photographer, he has worked for Adobe. He's done many, many courses on photography. He said the best camera you have is the one you have with you.
Yes. I've heard that. Yes.
And so it's just this shift in attitude that, oh, I don't know how to do that. Well, do all of you know Marie Forleo and everything is figure outable.
Mhm.
Okay. That's really the truth. I mean, she started doing the stuff that we do now digitally back when she was a bartender doing exercise classes. She would ask people to sign up to
Mhm.
be on the email list. And she learned from her mom, you can figure things out. And if there's a problem, ask people. If you can't figure it out, ask somebody else, how do you do this? Or go look on YouTube. Do you have an answer for this? And as authors, you have answers. So you can be doing a video to answer those frequently asked questions,
Mhm.
demonstrate what you know. And again, like I said, you don't always have to have your little face on camera. You can do a slideshow, narrate it, pop it up there. But all of those things, you have to say, okay, I'm going to spend the time, I'm going to learn this. And this is the crazy thing. So I just mentioned Loom, and I didn't even tell you all the other video applications I know.
Yeah.
I studied Premiere. I did, oh God, I'm trying to think what the other one was quite a long time ago. But I mean, I know iMovie, I use Filmora, I've used Premiere Rush, I've done Loom, I've done, you know, on and on and on. The deal is, now I'm sounding like our president, but the real deal is this. Pick one application, get really good on it. Oh, Camtasia too. Pick one.
Mhm.
All of them work. They all work a little differently, but you'll find the one that lets you get in, record, edit, post.
Mhm.
Record, edit, post.
Yeah.
Don't be worried that you're not doing a film that looks like Pixar did it. And no, and I actually was a temp before they released the first Pixar movie, the Tin Drum with it was fabulous. And I walked in and there are all these, I mean, like the monitor I have now, I have a 27-inch iMac. Well, they had these humongo monitors, so I'm salivating.
Mhm.
But you know what? That was their first movie that they released, and it got acclaim. But think about that. If you haven't seen it, you can find it. Think about that, and then think about what they just released, which was Soul.
Mhm.
Which, if you have not seen it yet, it will blow your frickin' mind. The music, the video, I mean, not the video, but the visuals in this and the philosophy in it. It's crazy. But it started just like Walt Disney with this one, and you know,
Mhm.
they're part of Disney. It started with like Steamboat Willie.
Mhm.
Think about Steamboat Willie and then think about Fantasia.
Right.
A big leap. Well, your book marketing's like that.
Mhm.
You little things, and then you can get better, and you can always do more. But start small, manageable, measurable. It will it'll rock your world. And I think are we about just about at time?
Just
Oh
about
no,
at time. Yep.
just
So,
about. Yeah.
so the one final thought, just to kind of sum up what we were just chatting about, that occurs to me is the key is consistency over anything. That's your number one thing. Your content is going to, but starting, doing it and doing it consistently, whatever it is you choose to do. And that's where the habits come in. And so that's why this matters so much. That's why we did this as one of our topics, because it really is about consistency. And you will find the people who have the most success are the ones who are out there every day. Their content might not be brilliant, their stuff might not be, this amazing content, whether it's quality or the actual content. But the point is that they're there all the time. And so they're constantly connecting with new people and bringing in new ideas and getting their book out to new people all the time. And that's the difference. That's what matters the most.
It does. There's a woman, she's a doctor, she's a physician here in the Bay Area, and she's Jewish. She celebrates the Sabbath, and she bakes challah. And if you've never had it,
Mm.
oh my God, it's the richest, eggiest, most yummy thing. And traditionally, it's braided. It's beautiful, and it's served during the Sabbath. And she wrote a book about it. Now she's a full-time physician. This is not somebody who's retired. This is not somebody who has endless amount of time. She's a busy doctor. She published that 2 years ago. It is still selling. It is still one of the highest rated books out there. And even before COVID, she started doing college classes. And then when COVID hit, she went virtual. So now she has people joining her all over the world. But what she did with her book marketing, and I saw her book at one of the conferences I went to. What she did is she talks about, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just decline that. I thought I had that turned off. She talks about her book. She posts pictures of it. She shows videos. People in her groups, because she people are paying her to come together, and they all bake challah together and they talk about it. So she expanded her community by consistently marketing through conversation in multiple ways for 2 years.
Hmm.
That's how you do it. If
Yep.
you want your book to be seen and heard, and for people to know about it, you got to keep doing stuff. I mean, you didn't just write a book for it to go, oh, it's wonderful on one day.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe somebody will find it. So,
Exactly. So, all right. So we are at time. So if anybody has any questions, follow up. You saw our contact information. You can also get more information at bookmarketingsociety.com. That'll take you right to our website for any additional information you might want on that. So that's it. And we'll sign off, and we'll see you next month, or if you join up, we'll see you at the members only webinars. So, all right.
thank you.